Gotta introduce yourself.
So the name's Skinny Loco, better known as Y.R.S, Young Rasta Samurai, co-founder of Tilltown TV. Me and my boy Big Kino put that together right at the beginning of the COVID. Just give y'all a little bit introduction about me and Kino, how we get down on our usual daily routines. Me being from the south side, him residing on the east side. Just showing y'all what Tilltown is. Tilltown's San Jose, for y'all that don't know. The reason why I call it Tilltown is, you know, there's Shark City, there's the Shark Tank, the Josie, San Ho, but I call it Tilltown because, like, what everybody knows San Jose for is, you know, basically the Sharks. So that's why I give it a little spin to it my way. I got a few other homies out there calling it that now, so it's good. We're starting to get a little bit of clout out there. Besides that, I do a little bit of music, mostly freestyle. Really, I've been doing that since about, I want to say like I was 12, 11, so like 5th grade, 6th grade. I write every now and then, but that's just really if my mind can stick to a topic or like something really inspires me to like write a song about something. But besides that, it's a huge stoner. Helping my community, my neighborhood, just relax themselves. A lot of people started going crazy during the quarantine because, like, they didn't want to go through the whole, oh, I don't know this person, or I don't want to be spending extra money. So it was like, hey, I live in your neighborhood, like, you already see me smoking, like, just come on through. You can come smoke, get high with me, and you can see like a little bit of my lifestyle. As of recently, just been chilling, like doing a little bit of work here and there with events. Just the last weekend, there was the Urban Ascending Expo. We had a whole bunch of local vendors come out, from different shirts, clothing, to art pieces. We had a few food vendors show up, so it was cool. Local artists came out, performed. My big cuz J-Mo, man, the homie Trauma Fresh, like, my mind was such in awe and amaze and such in a daze. I can't even remember everybody that was there, but everybody that got on stage, they did their thing, turned up, and, you know, like, that's what we're trying to show y'all what San Jose is really about. Just not everybody be funking it like people think, like, oh, you're from San Ho, like, oh, you're a gangster. Like, even gangsters got feelings too, man. But, you know, we just be out here chilling, reminiscing, relaxing, whether you with the family or not. Like, Sunday, you know, weekend, like, that's supposed to be your day to just to kick back, relax, not have to deal with no drama. So when those days do happen, you know, we do have like cultural night. We're doing that once a month now. And the Urban Ascending Expo, we're gonna try to do that starting once a year. We're gonna try to get it a little bit more than that, but we also gotta find like the right venue. So what's next?
Do you have any regrets?
Any regrets? I got a few. You know,
you want to start in chronological order? What's your first regret? Your first biggest regret?
My first biggest regret, I could probably say not finishing high school, like not getting my high school diploma. I think just if I would have got my diploma, I could have gotten a few more doors opened up, and then maybe even my mindset would be a little differently than what it is now. Now it's just like, all right, just make money as quick as possible. If I would have finished high school, I probably could have been like, all right, get money, but also how can you make this double, triple, quadruple in the long run? So that's definitely my biggest regret. Is
why didn't you finish high school?
I had a wild high school growing up. Like, I went to 3 different high schools. First one got kicked out because there was a rumble/riot. It like lasted for 4 days. That was Oak Grove, for y'all don't know. Like, that's big OG from the south side. Second high school, I literally went there for like 2 weeks. And that's just because like it was supposed to be independent studies. We were getting ready to move from the south side of Sunnyvale. So I was already thinking like, why am I even gonna go to this school? Because I'm getting ready to move. I'm not even gonna be here in like another 3 weeks. After that, then I went to Fremont. And once I got to Fremont, it was like Oak Grove all over again. I wasn't going to class. I was always ditching. I was always kicking it, posted up, smoking with the homies, drinking, flirting with the bitches. And then, you know, just being a high school hoodlum, not really a high school student. Then I got kicked out of Fremont because I ended up robbing somebody. Dumbass shit. I don't even want to get into that story. That's a dumbass story. But I ended up robbing somebody, went to juvenile hall for a few months, got out, and by that time I was going to a community school. In the back of the school I just got out of doing, or got expelled from for that robbery. So then after that, that was basically like last 6 months of my sophomore year. Not my sophomore, damn, I'm high right now, my junior year. So senior year comes, and I'm already 18, so they're kind of like tripping, like, oh, you know, let's just send them off to adult ed. So I went to adult ed for 2 weeks, and it wasn't because like I messed up. It was, I did all the pre-tests they could possibly hand you before you go and take the test. It should have took me about 2 to 3 months to do all of this, but I finished it, like I said, in about like 2-3 weeks. So procrastinated about 6 to 7 months, moved out of my mom's house, and like the day I moved into my sister's house, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go take my test, see if I pass this. First try, I ended up passing. So I was like, all right, got my GED, started working. My first job, like where I was actually on payroll and like all that, I was actually working for my dad. And like I said, if I would have went and got my high school diploma, not my GED, I probably never would have worked for my dad.
What did you do for your dad?
I was a janitor. So yeah, that horrible. Like my dad's like this treasurer of a business. His sister is the vice president of the business, and her husband is the president of the business. And I'm all the way at the bottom as a janitor. And they're so ashamed of me at the time that they weren't even telling people that I was related to them. One of the other janitors found out one day because I didn't show up to work the day we got paid. And she had my check. And she was just like, oh, hey, I have your check. I can come meet up with you. So as she's dropping it off, I guess she was really like looking at my name on my check. And she's like, Prendergast, that's funny, you know. You have the same last name as the treasurer, and he's related to the president and the vice president and the receptionist and the mechanic. And wait a minute, you gotta be related to them, ain't you? I was like, yeah. Soon as I shouldn't even said yeah, because as soon as I said yeah, she went back, told everybody that she found out that I was related to them all. And one, I lost hours, and two, I actually lost a little bit of some of my wage. I was actually getting paid more because I was related, but once they found out, I started getting paid just as the same as everybody else.
What was your next job?
So after working as a janitor, I basically lived off of food stamps and grinding for about 2-3 years. Just going where I could, like chilling. I was actually at my sister's house for a little bit, like I said, but once I lost my job at there, me and my sister kind of got into a little, what would you say, quarrel. And I got kicked out the house. So I was homeless for about maybe like a month and a half.
How old are you then?
I was 19 at the time, and I remember the day my sister kicked me out. I'm walking down the street looking bummy as hell. Well, probably wasn't. I know I've always had like some nice clothes, but feeling bummy as hell. Walking down the street with a few backpacks full of clothes, a few luggages full of clothes, and they're all just inside a shopping cart. And I'm just walking down the street. And I get to the hood mom's house, and I'm like, hey, I don't know where I'm gonna stay at, but can I at least leave my clothes over here? So like maybe every other day I come over, take a shower, get a fresh pair of clothes. She's like, yeah, don't worry, honey. I'll even wash your clothes. Just leave another separate pile of dirty ones. She says, all right, cool. So I leave in the house. She just gave me some bud and some money to go grab something to drink. So I go out back, I start rolling up a blunt, and this girl walks up and she just starts like flirting with me, like, oh, you know this, like, you know, you talking to anybody on the west side, whoop, whoop, whoop. And at the time I was like down and out, like I didn't even care if I was like, nah, like, you know, I'm just trying to do me right now, just doing my own thing. And she popped out a 40, she fucking started giving me some drink, all that, and she rolled up, she finished rolling my blunt for me. So we smoked all that. And I even tell her my whole situation, like, yeah, you know, I'm homeless, I ain't got nowhere to stay now, whoop, whoop, whoop. So me and her like really chopped it up. I didn't have a phone at the time. So she was just like, hey, whenever you have a chance, like, here's my number, give me a call. So I was like, all right. I want to say 2-3 days pass, and I give her a call again. And she's like, oh, you know, I've been waiting on you to call me. Like, come through to the west side. I got something for you. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I go over there, and one, she had bought me a phone. So I was like, oh shit. She's like, this is just so I can stay in contact with you, just so I know you're okay and where you're at. Whoop, whoop.
It's a random girl you met on the street.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. And then she's like, and here, I got this for you. And she hands me like this, probably like this big, but it's puffy, fucking like one of those little manila envelopes, like a money envelope. And I'm like, what the fuck? Thinking like maybe it's like some gloves or something. So I'm like, what's this? She's like, just, you know, go get somewhere. I don't want you staying on the streets tonight. So I was like, what the fuck she mean by this? So I fucking opened up the fucking envelope, and bruh, it's full of 20s, 50s, and 100s. And I'm like, thinking to myself, did I just find myself a sugar mama? Nah, so she ends up telling me that she basically broke into a hotel room, or not a hotel room, the hotel employees, like guests, like the employees lounge, basically. And she broke in there and she took somebody's wallet, and there was all that money in there. So she was just like, here, like, you need somewhere to stay. So I ended up staying at a fucking, I want to say the Easy 8, for probably like 2 months. And by the time my money ran out, money? Yeah, with the money she gave me.
2 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the time the money was gone, I told her, she was just like, hey, you know, I talked to my mom, you can move in. So, boom, like, of course, 2 months down the road, me and her are obviously already talking and shit, we messing around. And so, yeah, she tells her mom everything, so I ended up moving in with the mom, and mom already knew the whole situation. She told me, as long as you can pay your own phone bill and put food in the house for yourself and for my daughter, you could live here.
Wow.
So basically, like I said, I had food stamps. So it was like, boom, here you go. She's like, no, you go shopping. She even let me drive her car. I didn't even have a license at the time. So I was living there for like 4 years, but
wow.
About 2 years into it, I was kind of getting tired of the whole food stamps with a little bit of money, and then the rest of the month I gotta like somehow find a way to get by. So I started working, picked up 2 jobs. I started working at, then I believe I was 21 at the time. It was either 21 or 22. And first job I started working was, or not the first, but at the time, first one was Winchester Mystery House. I was a tour guide, giving people tours. I was doing like 6 to 7 tours a day, but people loved my tours because like I was getting tips every tour I gave. And then probably like a month into working at Winchester, I get a call from Didi's, and they're like, hey, you know, we want to hire you. We want to put you on board. We want to see if you want to work the night shift. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. I get off work here at 5. Like, you guys, what time you guys start? And they're like, well, we would start you at 4, but if you get off at 5, like, we can start you at 5:30. So, all right, perfect. So I started working both those jobs back to back, and man, like, Didi's was fun. I worked at Didi's longer, but it was just like how every 2-3 months they switched management. I couldn't handle it.
So what switched for you that made you want to get off food stamps and work 2 jobs?
I think it was the whole, like I said, only having, like, yeah, I had money for food, but you know, I'm human. I have wants and needs besides food.
But it took you 2 years to realize that?
Well, at that time, me and my girl were okay, just chilling at home, watching TV, eating food, not really doing nothing.
2 years that got boring.
So after that, it kind of got boring. So that's when I was like, you know what, like, she's already been with me for 2 years. She deserves a little bit. So I started working so I could, like, buy her things, buy myself, like, new clothes, take her out to, like, eat, to the movies, little things like that, just to, like, kind of show her, like, hey, I do appreciate not just you, but also your mom for letting me stay here.
Mom things?
Oh yeah, I was buying her mom stuff. Her mom's birthday would come around. I'd take her mom out to eat. Mother's Day would come around. I'd take her mom out. It was like I said, I was with her for 4 years, almost 5 years.
You're a stand-up guy, huh?
Try to be. Don't always am, but you know how it goes. But yeah, that was actually in my lifetime. That was my longest relationship, but at the end of it all, I found out most of it was fake. Like, I was the one putting in a lot of work for basically nothing.
Well, she homed you. That's a lot.
Yeah, but like I said, at the end of it, we were together for like 4 or 5 years. She did a lot of damage behind closed doors that I didn't know about until the end, and that's when I was just like, damn. So
how'd you find out?
Her being drunk one night, she ended up just telling me everything. I was just like, damn, this bitch, cold piece of work. But, you know, can't say all females are like that. Just like, you know, not all us niggas are dogs. You know, maybe I'll find that one and I'll go back to being a good nigga again. But
I got a question for you here, Skinny.
Oh shit.
I see you wearing a lot of blue.
Yeah.
Where does that stem from?
That stems from where I grew up. I grew up in the south side of San Jose. So like, at first, you know, I wasn't even really into colors. I was more into sports. And then basketball really caught my attention. So I started watching, back in the day, we had what's called and1 basketball. It was street ball. It was like, almost looked like people were dancing with the ball as they're dribbling, and then they would fake you out, break your ankles, they would throw the ball off your head.
And like the Harlem Globetrotters?
Almost like that, but more like into it, like kind of like NBA Street, but real life. So I started watching that, and basically growing up, I didn't really see too much and1 clothing that was blue. There might have been, but I didn't. So growing up, I wore a lot of red and1. And then I want to say it was about right around middle school. I've always gotten mistaken because I'm a light-skinned brother. People mistaken me for Hispanic certain times. So me wearing all that red, and especially growing up on the south side, they started thinking I was a norteño. At first, I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I was like, what? Like, what? And then some of my boys, even at such a young age, they were already Nortes. So I guess because I was kicking it with them.
So how old are you?
I was 7th grade, so like 13.
A child, though.
Still a little bit like crazy mind mentally, but at that age, I still thought like, oh, you know what? Like, I know more than than I thought I did. So I thought I was a little smart ass, a little badass. So I ran with people who were older than me and stuff. I have an older brother who's like 13 years older than me. I got an older sister who's 10 years older than me. So it's like, I've always been around the older folk. But, so yeah, I was in middle school at the time, and some dudes like said that they were gonna jump me. So I was just like, wait, excuse me? I didn't know what was going on, why they wanted to jump me, no, none of that. So I came to school the very next day with a knife on me. Like, if anybody tries to jump me, like, at least I'm gonna poke somebody and protect myself, even if I get jumped by who knows how many people. But I ended up getting caught at school with a knife. They suspended me. My mom couldn't pick me up, so I had to walk home without the knife. Still ended up getting jumped. And I got home, and that's when my older brother, he was like, well, what happened? So I told him, I was like, man, I got jumped by some fucking essays, dog. I got jumped by some fucking scraps. He was just like...
Just because they thought you were in their tenure?
Just because, exactly, because they thought I was one. So my brother was like, oh man, I told you, don't be fucking around with people that you don't know what's going on. So, because in middle school, when I got caught with that knife, that was already the third time I had brought a knife to school, being in the same school district. So the school district, instead of just suspending me, they had me on suspension for a whole week. But in the middle of the week, they had me go in for a meeting at the district office. And they decided that, you know what, this is your third time bringing a knife to school. We don't know exactly what you're up to, but we're gonna expel you. So they kicked me out of the district, and I started going to this like continuation school. And basically I say like continuation school, because if you do good here, you can go back to public school. But if you fuck up here, then you go back to like, or you don't go back, you go to like the real continuation court school. So I was over there for like a year, like the rest of 7th grade and like the first half of 8th grade. And being there, I was in class with a whole bunch of Nortes. And that's when I really started picking up about the whole gang life and everything. So like back then, yeah, I wore a lot of red, but my favorite color's always been blue. So the Nortes kind of asked me, they're like, hey bro, what's your favorite color? I looked at them, I was like, oh, I like the color blue. And they're like, why? I was like, I don't know, just blue's like beautiful to me. Like, you know, blue sky, blue water, like, I don't know, just something about blue calms me down. So like, okay, like, whatever. Then they look at me and they're like, oh, so what's your favorite number? Me being young at the time, didn't know anything about gang shit. I was looking at them, I was like, I like number 13. And what was stupid about me too, I even went, I like the number 13, I threw it up. And they were like, what the fuck? What's up, fool? And I was like, whoa, like, what's going on? So why the fuck why you throwing it up like that? I was like, oh shit, what do you mean throwing up? So then they broke it down to me like, oh yeah, you know, because you said blue and 13, like, woo, like, that's some scrap shit. So I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, I like the color blue. I told y'all why I like the color blue. They're like, all right, then why do you like the number 13? Well, growing up, I was raised in a haunted house. So like, I believe in like superstition, black magic, like shit like that. So that's why when I was so young, I liked the number 13, because it like black cats and magic and like Halloween, you know. So then they put me up on game. So I was just kicking it with them at the time. I wasn't even banging yet. Just because I was always kicking it with these fools. If anybody asked me at the time, like, hey, you bang? My dumb ass, I was like, yeah, homie, like, I kick it with the homeboys. Homeboy, like, what's up? And they're like, so you a homeboy? And I'm like, well, my homeboy's a homeboy, so doesn't that make me their homeboy? Being a dumbass. And well, one day I ended up getting jumped by some scraps. Probably like 10 of them, maybe even more. I don't know, I blacked out. But I came back too, and all the homeboys I went to school with, they were like, hey bro, They woke me up, like, hey, what happened? So I ended up telling them, like, I think I know what hood jumped me. So we ended up going over to where I thought they would be, and they were there. Well, before we even get there, all the homeboys, they're calling up my sister. Mind you, my sister used to be a Crip. So they're calling up my sister, and they're like, hey, you know, your brother just got jumped by some of our motherfucking enemies. So we want to ask you, like, is he going to be down with us, or is he going to be a part of y'all? And she was just like, what the fuck? Like, you mean you going to try to take my little brother from me? And he was like, no. Like, we just want to know who he's going to click up with after this. So my sister was like, send me the Addy, I'm going to slide through too. So we fucking ended up meeting there. As I swear, like, as I'm pulling up, we hop out the car to go fuck these fools up. Not even a minute later, my sister rolls up with probably like 3 females in her car, and they all jump out and they just start bombing on every single little female that they seen. And I was scared for a second. I was like 13 at the time. My sister is 23, so I'm like, Jen, you can't be doing what you're doing. You need to quit it. But yeah, so then after that, that's when my sister was like, you know what, you're black, you're my little brother, and you're from the South Side, so you need to start rocking all this blue. So then my sister started putting me up on game with the Crips. So I started kicking it with like some of her homies from the hood. Cause we got a few different hoods on the South Side that we used to kick it with and clicked up with. So like all of her homies who were her steppers and shit, now I look at them like my big brothers. Like, if niggas really know, I'm connected from South Side to the East Side to the West Side. Now I live on the North, making more connections. Like, San Jose is my home. Like, Teal Town is everything to me. So it's just like all that. Like, yeah, I rock blue. I started wearing a little bit of red, but when it comes down to it, like, niggas that know me, like, niggas that know me. But it's just, I got respect on all sides. Niggas respect me. If they don't, you know, it's gonna go right back. It don't matter. Like, we out here doing our shit. So it's just, you know, make your money. That's what the Bay's about. Like, we got Crips out here, Bloods out here, SAs, NAs. Like, some niggas just won't fuck with the other side. Other people is just like, you know what, nigga? Like, if you can make money, if I can make money, we gonna make this damn money.
Did you know what you were getting yourself into? When you got into that at 13?
At first, no, I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. I just knew that, you know, my sister has my back. I got homies who have my back. And that's, being so young at the time, like, that was what I wanted. I wanted to feel like a belonging. Cause like at home, I didn't really always feel like we was always getting along at home. Like, the only one I could always talk to about everything growing up was my sister. But by the time I turned like 9, like 8 or 9, my sister had already moved out. So it was like I could just talk to her whenever she come over, talk to her on the phone. But it was like the day-to-day type thing. Like, I needed to be around people who were like me, who thought like me, who acted like me, who just made me feel like, okay, like, I'm not the only person that acts like this, because my family at home tells me what I do just isn't normal. But then I find other people who consider what I do normal, because that's exactly what they do. So that's when I really got into it, not knowing how deep this shit really got.
How deep does it get?
Deeper than I want to talk about right now.
Damn. Do you have any fears?
My only fear is dying broke. And what I mean by that is just like, if I die, I want to be able to leave something behind for like my family, my friends, like my close loved ones. Like, it doesn't have to be money. It could be property, or, you know, something that's I've had for years that's sentimental to somebody else. Like, dying and not having anybody remember who I was or what I did. That's one of my biggest fears.
How do you stop that from happening?
Try to leave something behind, make something that I could leave for everybody to come back and see, like years to come, even after I am gone. Somebody could walk past something and be like, oh, what's that? And they could like look it up or read about it somewhere, or even like right there's like a description or something, and it's just like, oh, that's what that is. Like, okay. And it's just like
something like a physical landmark, or do you mean your music, or do you mean
like something that I could, like, whether it be music or like a landmark, even if it's like a bench that I used to just kick it at all times. People would be like, oh, you know, I remember that was what's his spot. He'd always be right there every time I see him. Or like just something, just, it doesn't have to be something exactly physical, but just a memory. Like that's just my fear, is just dying and not being remembered.
Do you believe in God?
I can't say exactly God himself or itself, but I do believe that there's a higher power, something up there watching over us. I just don't exactly have a way to explain it. I just know that there is.
Something happened that made you think something's got me?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that?
Like I said, I don't exactly know how. It's just, I just feel like there's something up there. I just don't know who or what to call it.
There's no specific situation that happened that made you think, oh, someone's got my back?
Actually, yeah, just the other day, and that's why I won't even say God. Like, I put that on my Uso Cuddy Banks, the Gangster. Like, I went to court a few months back, and I got some shit I'm dealing with out of state that I was a little stressing out, and so I said, fuck it, you know what, I'm in Cali, I don't want to do anything stupid in Cali, so I'm gonna go to court in Cali. So I go to court, and they're like, oh yeah, you know what, you haven't been in trouble since 2010, and I looked them dead in their eyes. I was like, yep, you are absolutely 100% correct. Like, I've been good. So then we go to court, and I get caught up for weapons in my car, a half pound of weed, and probably like 2 or 3 scales. When everything goes down, the public defender said, because on the police report, they said they had found my weed and confiscated it. They found my weed, yes, but the police did not confiscate it. So because of that little error right there, she said that was racially profiling. The weapons that were in my vehicle, I'm supposedly an Uber driver, and that a passenger left it, so I picked them up and put them in my glove compartment so nobody else would find them. So basically, I got diversion court. I cannot get another ticket or any type of traffic violation for the next like 6 months, and I got to complete some community service hours, and they're never going to put it on my record. So like I said, I didn't want to say God, because I don't know exactly who, but I believe that was my Uso looking out for me, because like that type of shit, I believe I should have been doing some time for that, and I believe my Uso was just looking out from beyond the grave and saying like, nah, my nigga, he's doing better now, like, let him continue doing what he's doing, because he's doing better. That was a slip up. Like, yeah, you guys almost got him, but you guys didn't do it right. Like, so that's one thing I can't say anybody else, but I believe my Uso was the one who did that for me.
And what makes you say it was him?
Just because this shit, like I said, I should have been doing time. I don't think God would have been like, oh no, he got caught for that shit, go put him away. Like, don't put him away. Like I said, I got caught up with some shit I should have been doing some time for. And I believe my Uso was the one saying like, hey little nigga, you getting your feet wet, keep your feet wet, don't go knee deep. So that was kind of a little warning to me. Ever since then, like, I don't ride dirty, I don't ride with no weapons in the fucking whip, but I still got my tree. Like, there ain't no stopping me on that.
Do you think you're a good person?
For the most part, yeah. I look out for people as much as they look out for me. Why I say yes is because, like, the way I act and react to a person is I act accordingly. So one person can tell you I'm the nicest person, sweetest person they know, but then another person could be like, that dude's a complete asshole, he's a dick, don't fuck with him. But it's all about the interactions that I've had with those people in the past. So if a person's gonna treat me like crap, you really think I'm gonna be this nice person to this person? No, I'm gonna be an asshole and a dick. Person who shows me love and support and shows that they care, I'm gonna show it back. So then they're gonna see like, oh, he's a nice, sweet, caring person. So for the most part, yeah, I do believe I'm a good person.
You know about people?
Oh yeah, I know plenty of bad people.
What makes them bad?
That they do shit not giving a fuck about not just what other people are gonna see or care about what they're doing, but they themselves don't see or care what they're doing.
You got examples?
Like people who just go out to rob just to rob. People who go out to, like, I can't say all robbing is bad, because, you know, there's certain mothers and fathers out here who happen to fall upon unfortunate events, who maybe they lost their job, or they just got out of prison and found out they have a kid and baby mama died, or vice versa. And now they have to provide for this kid 24/7, and they can't even provide for themselves. So I'm not saying like they're going out, they're robbing banks and shit like that, but, you know, like going to a little grocery store or something like that, and, you know, they don't have the money, so they gotta steal some food, steal something to drink, steal some diapers. Like, of course it's still stealing, but it's not bad. But what I'm saying is, like, people going out nightly, going robbing houses just to see what gold and jewelry these people have. Freaking people just because, oh, this person looked at me wrong. Like, shit like that. That's what I mean is, like, bad people. Like, obviously if you rob somebody for no damn reason, that's stupid. But if you're robbing somebody and, like, say they robbed you, or they did something horrible to your family, whether it be you shot somebody, did something where there's actually repercussions and consequences for that type of shit, then I understand it. But besides that, there's really no need for bad and evil shit like people like that. I just don't believe in it.
What do you do for a living?
As of right now, nothing. I just been helping with event coordinating. Been doing a little helping out with my brother with his schoolwork, and just helping out around the house. Started looking for work as of maybe like a month or two ago, because my unemployment's up. But besides that, for the past year, I've just been relaxing, just taking it easy.
How did your childhood shape you?
I could say from my dad not being around and my stepdad stepping up, like, I think I kind of took my stepdad's tough love a whole different way, and it kind of changed me into the person I am now. Like, I don't care, I don't give a fuck type of shit. But at the same time, I think I needed that because I have a little brother who's autistic, and like, for the most part, it's like, you can fuck with me, I don't care unless you're really up in my face, and I'm gonna have to put you down in your spot. But it's like, the second you say anything about my little brother, like, I snap. Like, I'm a totally different person. So I think, like, growing up, I needed that because, like, before my little brother, I really didn't care about too much stuff or even really too many people. Like, my dad's side of the family, they've always looked at me like I was just somebody in the family that just happened to be there. Like, they didn't really treat me like I was family. They're all rich as hell, and they knew, like, oh, he grew up in kind of like the ghetto. So there was like, whatever. So even by the time I was 14, I basically had cut off all ties with my dad's side of the family. So yeah, it was just tough growing up with my mom, because my mom was, for the most part, until I was like 12, 13, she was a single mother, raising me, 2 older siblings, and my younger brother. And she was just doing what she could to get by. So I think seeing my mom struggle and like seeing everything that went down in the household kind of made me want to be like the one to always protect my little brother and try to be the one to get up out of shit and like do a little bit better, because my older brother, he ain't ever done too good. My little brother, he's a genius, but he's just like so sheltered from the world that he's afraid to go out and experience his own like first experiences. So it's like, basically it's me and my older sister, and like I said, since she was 18, she moved out. Now I'm 30 and she's about to be 40 this year. She lives about like almost 200 miles away, so I only get to see her whenever I can. Now she has her own 3 kids. So it's just, childhood has been tough, but you know, I believe if I wasn't raised with my mom, I would have been with my dad, and I would have been some like little spoiled little, can't even say privileged because I'd be black still, but they act like they white. They act like they privileged. It's funny. So yeah, I can honestly say I'm glad that I was raised with my mom and not my dad.
And do you want to give a message to the world? Skinny.
So my message to the world is, don't try to be something you ain't. Go out there and be the best you, because everybody wants to be something. And I'm not saying it's not bad to want to be something, but if you are not that something, don't try to force yourself into that, because you're either going to make yourself look goofy, or people are just going to look at you and be like, you're fake, you're not real. Just be as real as possible. If you're that goofy ass dude always making class jokes, try to become a comedian. You always got people. It's not that you try to make people laugh, you just get people to laugh. Bro, you're gonna be a comedian. If you're always that dude sitting there drawing in the back of the class, don't let people tell you, hey, snap out of your world. That is your world. So just be you. Females, males. Last thing to say, this is my favorite quote. And this is actually a quote from my brother Irk. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all are kings and queens. Alright, don't let nobody treat you worse than what you deserve, because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, don't let no one or nothing make you feel uncomfortable with yourself. And that's a straight heads up from Y.R.S, AKA Skinny Lope. Yes, sir. Till Town, out.
Thank you, Skinny.